Okay, so Dune is one of those movies that's considered a magnum opus of science fiction, you know? That's a tall order to fill. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm here today to review for you Dune. So Dune is based off of the beloved science fiction classic. It's often called the greatest science fiction novel of all time. It is an adaptation in the sense that it covers about half to a third of the first Dune novel. Yes, in case you noticed, yes, I finally got my Seattle Kraken jersey in. It's an authentic, it's got my name on it, it's got my number. Oh, it's awesome. Anyways, yeah, so another jersey added to the repertoire that I review movies in. So Dune stars Timothée Chalamet, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Zendaya. It's a rock star cast. And that's one of the biggest perks I gotta say, is that I don't think there was a single weak link in this entire film. It was absolutely fabulous. From beginning to end, this movie was just well made. The only thing I can say is that the pacing is really slow. That being said, the book is also almost 1,000 pages long, at least the edition I read. It's almost 1,000 pages long. You're gonna run into some slower parts, especially when they're adapting it as closely as they are right now. I can't recommend this film enough. I have seen a lot of movies shot for IMAX and things like that. I have never seen a movie with this level of just scale. Blade Runner 2049, amazing film for scale. Again, Denis Villeneuve knocked that out of the park. But in this one, it was different. Like, I was watching the film and I was just looking at it at larger than life scale. This felt so big. And it was. I mean, okay, the sandworms are awesome. And when they show just how big the sandworms really are, my jaw actually opened. Like, I opened my mouth. I was in awe. I knew it was a CGI creature, but at the same time, it sold me. It wowed me. This film is a masterpiece of beauty in terms of cinematography, which is why if you watch it on HBO Max as your first viewing, I don't think you're going to get the same special experience that everybody who went to see it in theaters did. I saw it on the biggest screen I could. That's the only way I recommend watching this film. It's just, I, I don't even know how to review this movie other than I loved the movie. It's a great movie, and it's just gorgeous, and you see this scale and it wows you. This world is real and alive. The film takes place on a fictional planet called Arrakis. There's a lot of different powerful people who all want the valuable resource called spice. Now, the intrigue of this story, I feel like it's accessible enough in this film that new people can follow along. Whereas, of course, seasoned fans who've read this book for decades will just automatically know, and it won't feel like you're retreading on old territory. So that was really nice. They're trying to get this resource called spice. They don't really explain much about spice other than it gives them access to interstellar travel, and apparently it has hallucinogenic effects. You're going to have a lot of the similar plot beats for certain stories where it's like, oh, the chosen one kind of plots. But the reason why it's a chosen one kind of plot is because this one really laid the groundwork for most science fiction. You really are kind of seeing the beginning of science fiction. The only weak point in this film I can really think of is the fact that the score was kind of absent. Every now and then you'd hear like a wow, 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 wow kind of thing, as though, yeah, we get it, you're in the desert soundtrack sounds. But aside from that, it was just minimalistic. I didn't mind it, but at the same time, I kind of would love a more dynamic score for Dune. The action, oh, it's so well shot. They do a lot of awesome fight choreography, and then the CGI of spaceships fighting each other or just destroying things, absolutely gorgeous. It blew my mind. You know, and there are going to be some people who aren't familiar with Dune that this might not win them over. That's fine, but I think this is a very commercially accessible version of Dune. And I think that that's a really great strength. Now, one of the hardest parts is knowing that this is going to be part one of either two or three, most likely two parts, and it does just kind of stop mid movie. And that does make me say, didn't we stop doing that shit with Hunger Games? I get it, it's a massive book, it's a massive story to tell, and I think Denis Villeneuve pulled it off and made an absolute masterpiece. And if he gets to complete the Dune saga, because as of the time I'm reviewing this, they haven't confirmed the movie, this could be a masterpiece. I've seen people compare this to Lord of the Rings. I wouldn't go that far, but I see where they're coming from because this really has that epic scale and scope feel. And that is just amazing to watch. Again, my jaw was on the floor. Anybody who's thinking about seeing this, please go see it in IMAX or some kind of massive screen. Ignore the HBO Max thing. Maybe save that for a second or third viewing. See this on the big screen where it rightfully deserves. Dune is absolutely a future classic. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, did you enjoy Dune as much as I did? Please go see it in the theaters. Are you seeing it in the theaters, or are you going to do the HBO Max thing? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.